Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. In today's video, I'll be showing some new products from Glassboard Studio. You may have seen some of my previous videos showing their magnetic glass mat. I have the pink color in the 18 by 24 inch size. And I just received two little boxes labeled pink, so you know they'll be good. And these are new tools from Glassboard Studio. To go along with their magnetic glass mats, they have a variety of super strong magnets. I'm showing the MiniPawn Magnets, they're the little square ones, and also the MegaMag Ruler. And today, Glassboard Studio has released two new products. The first product is called Buddy. I selected the pink color to go with everything else I have from Glassboard Studio, but all of their products are available in a variety of other colors. The Glassboard Buddy is a magnetic stamp pad holder. So on the bottom, there's a full magnet and it'll securely stay in place on your magnetic glass mat. It holds a standard ink pad. I grabbed one from Pink Fresh. So if you're doing stenciling or ink blending, simply place your ink pad inside the Glassboard Buddy, and that ink pad is not going anywhere. So you don't have to worry about it sliding around on your craft table. The Buddy also has one open corner to work as a funnel. The bottom is lined to help you sort gems and beads. But the best thing about it is the magnet on the bottom to secure it to your craft mat. The next new product is called Glassboard Sidekick, and it's sold as a set of 3 sizes. Yes, I selected pink, but this is also available in other colors if pink isn't your thing. Now, what's really fun about the Sidekicks, one side slides underneath the edge of your craft mat so you can catch paper scraps, little die cuts, beads, gems, any small items you're using on your mat. So I'll dump out some small die cuts I have sitting off the side of my desk. And you can see how quick and easy it is to clean up your mat. Just push all those items into one of the Sidekicks. It's nice having the 3 different sizes available. So depending on what size magnetic glass mat you have, one size or 2 or 3 will fit that mat. I have the medium size mat and all 3 of the Sidekicks work perfectly. On the bottom of each of the Sidekicks are 2 non-slip feet, so it'll help hold those in place when you're working with them. So there's a look at 2 fun new products from Glassboard Studio. Their new Buddy and also Sidekicks. And if you are interested in purchasing any products from Glassboard Studio, I do have a link in the description box below. And you can also save by using my discount code Kristie. Normally, you'll save 15% with my discount code, but for a limited time, October 23rd and 24th of 2025, you'll save 20% with my code Kristie. As I mentioned, I have the 18 by 24 inch size mat, and it's a great size. But I decided to pick up the smallest size mat. I thought it would fit nicely on my craft table, and it's also perfect if you travel around when crafting. So the smallest size is 9 by 12 inches, and I really can't zoom out anymore on my camera, but it's basically 1/4 the size of my current mat. There is another size in between these two. It's 13.5 by 18. I think that would be a great size as well. But if you want to go even larger, there's a 24 inch by 36 inch. And if you have a giant craft area, they even have a 36 inch by 48 inch craft mat. So 5 different sizes, and they're all available in a fun variety of colors and designs. So even if you have the smallest size mat, the Sidekicks and Buddy still work perfectly. Since this is the first video where I'm showing the smaller size mat, I thought it would be fun to make a fall card. I'll be using paper and cardstock from Your Paper Insider. For the background of my card, I'm using their cold press watercolor cardstock. I'll be stenciling on the watercolor paper. I'm using a stencil from Jaded Blossom. It's their mesh stencil. I cut the piece to a little bit larger than A2 size, and I'll hold the stencil with paper in place using the MiniPawn Magnets. I also have the round magnets. These are the pawn magnets. The ink color I'm using is Ranger's Distress Oxide Salvaged Patina. Now, since this is a square size ink pad, it doesn't fit perfectly in the buddy holder. But if I place one of the pawn or MiniPawn magnets at the one end of the buddy, it'll secure the ink pad in place. When inking the background, I'm adding more color in the very center and gradually getting a little bit lighter toward the edges. And I'll use some of the leftover ink on the brush in the very center. To add a little more detail on the background, I'll use the same Salvaged Patina ink color. Press some ink onto the glass mat, spritz it with water, and with a paintbrush, I'll gently tap it over the background, creating this fun splatter. And even though this is the same ink color I use for the stencil, the splatter will be a little bit darker than the stenciled areas. I'm focusing the splatter more on the outside edges since I will be adding a large die cut image and sentiment on the front of the card. Now I will set that aside and let it dry completely, but first I need to clean up my glass mat, and I'll simply spritz it with water, and I'm wiping it down using scrapbook.com's Crafty cleanup cloths. This is a washable microfiber cloth, so you can use it again and again. I'll be adding a lovely sunflower, and I'm using a sunflower die set from Jaded Blossom. And all of the paper and cardstock are from Your Paper Insider's Box 13. This is currently the box you'll receive if you subscribe to their quarterly mystery box. And they always have so many gorgeous and unique paper and cardstocks inside each box. Since I'm trying to use just papers from box 13 other than the watercolor cardstock, for the center of the sunflower, I want it brown. And there aren't any browns included in box 13, so instead I'll grab a scrap piece of the watercolor cardstock and ink up a circular area. And the ink color I'm using is Catherine Pooler's S'mores. And as you can see, this is an oval shaped ink pad and it fits nicely in the buddy holder. So now I'll run that through my die cut machine, and it looks like I cut it out from brown cardstock. So if you don't have the perfect color cardstock on hand, look through your inks. You may have a good color match. For the petals of the sunflower, this is a gorgeous yellow pearlescent paper that's included in box 13, and the green cardstock for the stem and leaf is also included in box 13. I cut out 2 of the petal pieces. With my fingers, I'll curl up one of the layers of petals, giving it more of a dimensional look. And when adhering them together, I'll put glue behind just the center and offset them slightly to give the sunflower a nice full look with lots of petals. Now I'll add the flower piece onto the stem. Just put a little bit of Barely Art glue at the top of the stem and adhere the sunflower in place. And while I wait for that glue to dry, I'll flip it over and place it in the Sidekick. And with a baby wipe, I'll clean up some of the extra glue I got on my mat and then wipe it dry with the Crafty cleanup cloth. At this point, my stenciled background is nice and dry. I cut down the piece to 3 3/4 of an inch by 5 inches, and I'll be adding it on a Scallop Rectangle die cut. And the scallop die is from Jaded Blossom. They have two different sets, 1 and 2, and they just have a variety of different sizes. And this dark blue teal color is also included in box 13 from Your Paper Insider. For adhesive, I'm using Scrapbook.com's Deluxe Adhesive Roller. It's super sticky. To adhere the sunflower, I'll use Barely Art glue. And I'm not putting it behind the petals, just in the center area, behind the stem, and also the leaf. And I'll adhere the sunflower on the stenciled background, trying to get this stem fairly centered. The Scallop Rectangle die cut is just a tiny bit smaller than an A2 size card base, so you will see a little bit of that white card base showing. I don't want to add any more white to the card, so instead I'm using some white cardstock that's included in box 13, and I'm inking just the very outside edges of this piece. So I have it cut down to A2 size using the same Salvaged Patina ink color, just adding a nice dark color around the outside edge. And I added one of the MiniPawn Magnets inside the buddy to hold the square ink pad in place. And I'm getting ink all over this glass mat, but that's fine since it cleans up so easily. I'm on the last edge, and I am trying to pull some of that extra ink on the glass mat, just use it up. Noticed a few other areas that I wanted a little bit darker, but there's that piece all finished, and I know it looks a little odd right now, but you'll only see the very outside edge. First, I need to clean up my glass mat, just spritzing it with water and using the same Crafty cleanup cloth. Probably after this project, I will need to wash it. So now you can see when I place the Scallop Rectangle on top, you'll see that lovely bluish teal color all along the outside edge. I'll put adhesive on the back of the Scallop Rectangle and adhere it on that inked edge cardstock piece. Next, I'll put my card front onto a card base. And this time I decided to use Barely Art glue. I'll add a line around the outside edge and a little bit in the center, then add my card front onto a card base. I love sunflowers, and this is one of my favorite sunflower die sets. I'll set aside the card for now and start working on the sentiment. I'm using another die set from Jaded Blossom. This is their basic word dies, and I'm using the sentiment Hello. You can never go wrong with a general hello sentiment. I cut out the word from the same dark teal background. And for the shadow piece, I use this very delicate paper from box 13. It's Mitsutama Rayon. I'll put glue on the back of the cardstock sentiment and adhere it on the shadow piece. And this is a very thin paper. It almost has a handmade feel to it. So once I adhere that sentiment down and remove it from the craft mat, there is a bit of glue on my mat. Now I'll put more glue on the back, trying to be very careful to only put it behind this dark teal cardstock area. Then I'll adhere it on the left side of the sunflower. For embellishments, I'm using another die set from Jaded Blossom. This is their Embellishment Cluster die set. This is another favorite of mine. You can easily cut out a bunch of small die cut pieces and use them as embellishments. I'm using the little twinkle stars. There are 3 different sizes. I'm using the medium and the smallest size. And I'm cutting them out from this gorgeous blue glitter paper that's included in box 13. And if you want a closer look at all the paper and cardstock that's included in box 13, I will add a link at the end of this video to my box reveal video. Some of the small die cut pieces popped right out. A few of the others I will need to poke them out. I grabbed Scrapbook.com's Craft Pro Pick tool. It's 4 tools in one, and it includes the little piercing tool. Just poke those all through, and I'm only adding 5 of them on the card. I'll put a medium and 2 small twinkle stars in the upper right-hand corner, and then 2 underneath the sentiment, a medium, and a small twinkle star. I'm laying them out for now. Want to make sure I'm happy with the placement. I always seem to change my mind with embellishments. But once I have decided, I'll add a small drop of Barely Art glue, and I'm picking them up using the wax tip end of the Craft Pro Pick tool. And then the extra little twinkle stars I'll wipe into the Sidekick. This is very handy to quickly clean up your craft area. So there is my finished card. I love how this one turned out. The yellow shimmer paper looks so beautiful on the sunflower. It kind of makes it look like it's glowing. If you are interested in any of the products I used in this video, I do have links in the description box below. And don't forget to use my discount code Kristie if you're shopping at Glassboard Studio. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.